Hello, 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 hello. Hi all, and welcome to another edition of live trading, TraderCast live trading, key trading levels and trading setups for popular markets. My name is Phil, and I'll be your presenter today. So let me just see that this is all streaming okay first, and then we can go through all the usual spiel. Yeah, live now. Brilliant. That's up and running. My name is Phil, and I'll be excellent. Okay. Well, hi all again, and welcome to another edition of midday session by TraderCast. My name is Phil, and I'll be your presenter today. So, for those of you who are watching this for the first time, feel free come into the chat room and say hi. And if you have anything to say or ask, feel free. A little bit about myself. If you're looking for a community of traders, check us out at tradercast.com. If you're looking
Ukrainian
for
Foreign Ministry says Russian forces
education,
continue to fire missiles at Ukrainian cities, including Kiev and Mariupol.
if you're looking at the, sorry, I just had my news feeds on. If you're looking for the education, you can check out mytradingskills.com. Some of our courses are free. Check them out. See if you like how we teach. This is a little bit about me. I've traded for quite a long time, and over the past 10-15 years I had the privilege of sharing my experiences with a number of people across the range of different industry events, and I taught many people how to trade. Some of them were brand new, some of them were intermediate, and they needed help with a specific area of their trading activity. So now, a big disclaimer here. If I say anything here, and I'll be showing you some live trades, because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to provide you with a practical application of what I think trading. What pair will you traded? Collins. Okay, hi Collins. I can cover a few markets for you straight away. So basically, this is what I think a beginner trader should be able to do. So for those of you who watched Friday's session, you know I had a number of positions already open, and I just want to give you the update of where I am with those. So you know I was short dollar yen, and I've closed my dollar yen at 114.70, so I'm out of that trade. I'm no longer in that trade. You also know that I was long gold, and I had a number of take profit levels, and one of them was at 1970, and then the ultimate one was around 2000. So I've closed half of my position at one and then half of the position on the other, so I'm out of that trade as well. I'm looking for another opportunity in gold as well. And you also know that on Friday I was short DAX, so German 40 index, from 13,384, and I was looking for a retracement, and my limit order was around 13,000. Why? Nice and round number, so that's all there. Anyway, so that's all closed. What I have open at the moment is I currently have two positions open. I am long sterling dollar, and this was triggered literally maybe an hour before I went online today. So I'm long sterling dollar at 131.54, and I'm looking for spike higher, maybe 150, 200 points higher. I'll tell you about all of that in a minute. And I'm also long S&P at 42.66, and I'll explain the reasons for that as well. So now, enough of all of this. Enough of all of this. And
the Latvian foreign minister is calling for the permanent presence of US troops in his country, this in response to recent developments.
Collins, So yeah, so I cover a range of market. So Colin, how did you find out about this channel? Do you mind me asking you? How did you come across this channel? Um, okay. While we are waiting for all of that, there is a bit of a pullback here in gold. So let me just start with a couple of positions that I currently have open. I'm long cable from here, and I'm also long S&P from this wick down here. Okay, so let me just show you where I am with that. So I'm seeing this as a really oversold bounce back. This is exaggerated move lower, and we're seeing a nice retracement from these lows. Now, where would I get in again? Probably if I get the opportunity for the retracement to this area, that could possibly be another area where I might be looking to add to this trade. Otherwise, I'll be looking to, let me just remove some of this stuff and make this clear. I'll be looking to see if we can see extension to the upside, and I would take the retracement from swing high to the swing low and look for this zone up here as a decent take profit area. So that's the logic behind it. This was selling pressure, and this is a really exuberant move lower overnight. US markets are not closed yet. Sorry, not open yet. They're only opening up in about 31 minutes. So they're only opening. US traders are trading this based on the futures rather than a cash markets, and they're seeing this retracement now. So this looks very encouraging. Happy with that. So a couple of options here. If I see another retracement to some lower levels for a rally higher, that would likely be a good opportunity. Otherwise, this area up here is definitely an area of interest for me. 43.46, 43.50, 43.60 on the upside. So now let me show you my trade, and then I will tell you how I'm going to manage that, and then I'll tell you about what else I'm looking at as well. So I'll move this chart to one side. So this is Dow, this is Euro Dollar.
Comments from the US Treasury's Liang says markets have continued to function well amid the Ukrainian war and sanctions on Russia. However, they are showing some signs of strain. It says investors are meeting elevated margin calls without delay.
So there is the S&P trade.
It says climate change and digital assets both pose new challenges to the financial system and the existing regulatory and supervisory framework. It says the US will continue to be alert to the fallout from the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
So this is the 15-minute time frame. So we are seeing low, lower low, lower low, then a little bit of indecision here and the retracement of this overextended lows, and then the price attempted to rally, but it was capped by falling resistance trend line, and then price retraced and then came here, and this created a first higher low here. So this was a good level for the entry. So what I've done is I've decided to get in at that level. So you can see I got filled here, and my stop was immediately much lower than here. I moved my stop loss. Now my stop loss is still below my entry. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to move my stop above my entry to lock in about 8 points on this trade. So I'm locking in 8 points on this trade, and I'm looking at the existence of this falling resistance trend line here. So this is very, very simplistic way or approach to trading. There is no indicators. It's not a complicated strategy. It's very simple price action applied in real time. Now, what I would like to see is I'm looking at this high and then this lower high and this lower high and this lower high and this lower high. So if I connect them with the line that represents my trend line, and this represents like a breakout and a retest of that trend line, which is what I was drawing on my chart with that blue box. So as long as that level here holds around 42.90, I would be happy to stay in this trade and carry on. Where would I like to take profits? Well, my limit order is up here, which is quite high, but this area here is actually quite a good area. So low, low, that was support, now a resistance, and then resistance again. So 43.50, 43.55, 43.60, anywhere around there would be a very, very good area for at least partial profit taking. So what I would like to do is, if I get that push higher, I might take some partial profits here, move my stop loss higher and higher, and then leave the remainder of the position to potentially carry on higher. If I see a big reversal and a loss of these lows down here, I would get out of this position very happily and look for for another setup as well. So I'll keep you informed about what I'm planning to do with this trade during the session as well. So I've seen a few Collins saying no, this is okay. Well, welcome, Collins. I saw your channel on Facebook, so feel free to ask any questions you want here in the chat room. It's absolutely fine. If you want me to answer anything, you can ask any questions here. You're okay. When you're saying a Facebook channel, which channel was it? Which channel was it? Was it the educational one, or what did you see? Anyway, good luck and welcome hi for the rest of you guys. Robert, Goldmaster, Eladio, Jonas, Lisa, Israel, Said, Haifa, Mike W, Suta, Darren, Bob, Tamiz, Max, David, Fadi, Chris, Buff, another John, Tom, Pratek. Let me see who else is there. There's a few people coming in today, not many. Alex, Gabriel, G's, Hi K, Bob D, Bobbin, Said Ahmed. Hi guys. For those of you who are in the chat room, let me know if you want me to post anything for you. I'll be more than happy. I've already posted the week ahead from the economic data point of view. Okay, well, Collins, you can check this site. There's a very good site. You can check it out. Check this one out. I'm just putting it in the chat room. There's a site. That's a site. Check it out. Check out the trust pilot, see what the other people say, what the other students are saying, and see if you can, if that makes sense. I saw it on the educational channel. Well, you know the channel already, so which is really great, really great. Well, Colin, stop trading. If you've blown your account you're doing something wrong. And I don't know what it is because I don't know you. I don't know how you trade, how much risk you take per trade, how do you decide when to trade, what is the trigger, what is the confirmation, how do you conduct your analysis. It's not complicated, really. This is not complicated. It shouldn't be complicated. But if you're blowing up your accounts, you should stop trading. Philip, shut up about all of this stuff and show me some more markets. Okay, good. Now let me show you the other trade that I currently have, and that trade is making a small profit at the moment. I'm long a sterling dollar. Okay, I'm long sterling dollar, and this is a counter trend trade. Okay, and I would like to show you this in a longer term time frame. So you cannot really trade in weekly time frame, but it's significant to see why I've decided to get in and why I'm trying to pick up few points out of this trade. Now this is a clearly defined downtrending market. Now we have a significant horizontal here with a cluster of the previous lows and previous lows and previous lows here as well. Now from the fibs point of view, that's 61.8, and then from this low, that's 61.8 here. From here, there's 50% on the dot, and then from here and here we have 38 fib retracement. So this is impulsive move higher. This is a corrective move lower so far. But the trend is more suited. The bears are more dominant in this trend. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pick up few points off this low, because anybody who's
the latest
short,
from Interfax, say talks between Russia and Ukraine have now begun in Belarus.
Once they see the price hitting those levels, they would likely be looking to take profits. Okay, and the reason why they're looking to take profits is because this gives them a break of this trend line and a move lower, which is basically a symmetrical move and extension to the next level of support. So by doing so, if they're short, they need to buy in order to close their trade, and that creates a little reversal. Now the trend is still bearish. I'm saying this is still bearish trend, so the safer thing to do would be to wait for a rally. So disciplined traders
also
would not be
from
looking
the US
to buy
Secretary of
the low.
State Blinken says the US doesn't want the
They're
Russia
looking
conflict
for
to widen.
a rally into 133, and then they're looking for another leg lower. So that's one option. Or if they see a loss of these lows, like here, where this shaded area is 131.40, I got filled at 131.50, and then maybe a retest from underneath, something like this, then they would expect to see another aggressive leg lower as well. So both scenarios are bearish. So that's a trend following setup. What I'm trying to do is
also
I'm
reiterates the
trying
US
to
doesn't
go
want a no-fly zone.
So therefore it's more speculative, and by doing so, okay, I'm looking for the oversold bounce back, and I would likely be looking to take all of my profits, or at least partial profits, slightly before. So up here at 132.40, and then if I'm lucky at 133, that's what I would like to get out of my long trade. So this is the hourly, so this would be suitable for a swing. And for those of you who understand and know how to read the price action, the combination of these two candles with the wicks below and the change of color is very telling. So this is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. We have the indecision, 4 candles selling pressure, and then a reversal on the 5th candle. So this is basically, if anybody's short, this is where they're looking to get out of the trade. They need to buy, and this is good enough for me. So if I go into a shorter term time frame, there is a buying pressure here, there is a buying pressure here, there is a swing, it's not a swing low, it's a spinning bottom, if you want to call it like that, or it could be referred to as doji if you have a line here, but there is a little bit of a body here, and then price is making slightly higher low. There is a divergence here, low, higher low, and so on and so on. So I was looking for the extension to the upside and a move higher. Now this is, from the scalping point of view, this is actually a really good setup. Okay, So if this baby breaks to the upside, they have the tendency to create a really powerful short squeeze, which has ability to take this many points to the upside, which brings you to this high as a take profit level. Alternatively, if you're more speculative, you might be able to do this and say, I'll take this many points and extend that to the upside, and that gives you that 132.50, 132.60 towards 133. So I'm staying in this position. It's counter trend, it's more speculative, but I'm staying in this position. Now let me show you where I am with this position and how I am going to manage it. And then I can talk to you about a few other things that I'm looking at the moment as well. Okay, dollar yen, no, that's closed. Where is my cable? Here.
The Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, being quoted by CNN's Manu Raju on Twitter, says Schumer said they're now moving closer to finalising the massive omnibus spending bill. Says the bill will include assistance to the people and government of Ukraine, as well as more funding on COVID response, something Republicans have resisted.
Just resizing the chart. So this is cable. Okay, so I've decided to go in on this trade. You can see here that this is where I entered. So this is only a 15-minute time frame chart, so a shorter term time frame entry. My stop was slightly below and now it's here, so I'm risking about 16 points on this trade. So what I'm going to do now is, just to be on a safe side, I'm going to put my stop at break even. Now there is always a risk. There is always an element of risk. We could see a massive selling pressure and a slippage and a gap lower, and by the time my position is closed, it's possible. It's possible. Markets can become very volatile, especially if this is triggered by something like geopolitical tension or central bank activity or something like that. But so far I feel a little bit more relaxed, and this is where my limit order is, 133. And I was telling you that from the pattern point of view, you can take this many points and extend that to the upside, and that gives you this 132.50, 132.60, which coincides with these clusters of the highs here. So I would likely be looking to take partial profits here as well if I can, and then partial profits here as well. If I don't do that, I'll move my stop higher, I'll move my stop higher, I'll move my stop higher, and so on and so on and so on. And if I get stopped out, that's also my take profit area as well. So far I'm quite happy. It's much smaller position, but I'm happy to hold this position open at the moment. Okay, now that's where I am with, sorry, apologies, with cable as well. What do you mean you didn't see it? My trading skills. This. It's in the chat room. Could you please write down the site again? I didn't see it. But do you see the chat room? Do you see the chat room? It's literally just... Maybe this can help, okay? mytradingskills.com. If you came from the Facebook channel, that's the channel, mytradingskills.com. So go and check it out. mytradingskills.com. Here we go, mytradingskills.com. Check it out. There's a great beginner's course. I would suggest that could be a good starting point for you, and see if that helps. But yeah, stop trading, buddy. Don't push it. Don't push it if it's not working for you, and if you are blowing up the accounts, you know, there's something is not right. You're not analyzing the market correctly, or you are. Where are you based, Collins? Collins, do you mind me asking where are you based? What is your time zone? It's 17 minutes past 2 my time here. You can check. Yeah, you have one session, one-to-one session, if you want it, if that helps. Okay, well, yeah, take it easy, buddy. Take it easy, buddy. Just stop rushing into it. Okay, is there anybody else who is looking for something there? Do you need something posted? Do you need something analyzed? Let me know. I was telling you about gold, and for those of you who watched Friday's session, you know the reason why I got in on that trade, and it was based on this pattern here. We know the gold was uptrending, so here's the uptrending gold. So who is more dominant in this market? Bulls. What do bulls do? Bulls tend to buy low with the view to take profit higher, or trade a breakout in the direction of the prevailing trend. So that was the basic premise. So basically, what did I do? I decided to go and buy the breakout. There was a breakout here and a retest. So I was long, and my stop was below. Stop moved slightly closer to the entry. Stop at entry. Stop above entry. And then, if you remember, we were looking at that. I was saying, if you go and check the price, historical price, you will see that 1790 was a good previous area of interest. Breakout above that level, it comes close to 2000. Why? It's a nice and round number. And then after that, it's this area up here, 2024, and then above that level we have this swing high here, 2046, and then 2072. So these are all very, very important previous levels. Okay, so that's where other people might be looking to take profits. So I've decided to get out of my trade at 1970 and then also 2000. And now what's happening is we're seeing a corrective pullback. So what can I do with this trade now? Well, not very much, to be honest with you. I need to wait for the price to go back lower. Okay, so where would I like to buy? Well, I would like to buy on a couple of levels. So the first one, would be possibly down here. So this swing high didn't hold. So this area, 1960. So if I see a corrective pullback to this area, and then a pause, and then a rally from there, that could be an entry. Now, I'm saying could because the price needs to stop and pause and give you the reason to get in. Okay, and give you the reason to get in. So how would that look? Well, that would look like what I was showing you in S&P. Selling pressure, and then pause, and then a reversal candle forming or combination of candles forming and something like that. So something like that could be one option. The other option, which could also happen, is we could see a continuous selling pressure, and then just in the case if loads of people do get in long here and they have their stops just below, we could see a push below that level, and then the price would carry on down here towards 1930, 1935, 1940. So I'm not very specific. It's a range of about $10 in price. So it's a zone. It's not a single level where you could possibly get the opportunity to get in on this trade again. So something like that is what I'm looking at. And since that might happen while I am away from my screen, what I'll do is, I think I have a working order for gold. Yes, I'm going to do 1940. So let's do that. So I have a pending order. It's going to be good until cancelled for the entry around here, 1940. And then my stop is going to be about $20 in price below, with the view to potentially take profit higher. And I'm going to keep that open for now. So that's not the open position. That's only an order. And I'll be paying attention to that and looking to see how to react to this. Wall Street set to fall on inflation against as oil breaches 130. Yeah, so massive story that's moving the market today, global market, is that crude oil went up really high overnight. So anyway, sorry, that's gold. I'm gonna leave gold for now, and I'll keep an eye on it and see how it might work out, and I'll keep informed. If I decide to do something a little bit more speculative or a little bit more short term, like this falling wedge, for example, I'll let you know while I'm broadcasting, and that could also be tradable. So breakout, retest, and a push higher. That's also tradable as well, but a little bit more speculative at the moment. So I'm going to leave it running and keep you informed if I decide to do anything with gold at the moment. So let's talk about crude oil, because crude oil had a massive spike higher. Absolutely massive spike higher. And now we are seeing a big retracement.
Russian embassy in Belarus now saying Ukraine talks have started, citing TASS.
So the fact that there are talks now in Ukraine, that could be perceived to be possibly positive. It's very little here in the news. Oil benchmark surge while euro and stocks slump after US
Two
flags.
OPEC sources saying OPEC plus supply policies have nothing to do with the reason oil prices are surging.
No, because the reason why...
So just to repeat there, two OPEC sources saying OPEC plus supply policies have nothing to do with the reason oil prices are surging.
And let me show you that oil is surging because US is possibly considering banning US or basically stopping purchases of oil from Russia. Okay, and that has direct implications, because if Russia is unable to provide additional supply to the market, that means there'll be a shortage of supply. Demand is high as it is already, and that has a direct impact on the price. So basically, less of supply, increased demand pushes the price higher. Russia is involved in military conflict, and Russia is one of the oil producing nations. So hey, add 2 and 2 together and you get the reasons why oil is doing what it's doing at the moment. So oil had a massive spike. So this was the gap from Friday all the way up to $130. I think Brent oil, Brent crude, which is UK listed energy contract, went even higher. So that has a direct impact now on inflation, and if oil is surging, now everything else is going to be expensive. So I don't know how it is where you live, but where I live, a liter of fuel, diesel or a petrol for your car is not trading on a petrol stations, it's almost €2 per liter, almost €2 per liter. So that's a significant jump in price as well. So what will happen if we see a continuous selling pressure? If we see a continuous selling pressure, we could see a sell-off here that could possibly trigger a little retest like that. And then we would see aggressive leg lower to the next level of support, which is 107.50. So if we hear some news and they say, oh, we will not stop Russia from exporting, or suddenly some agreement is reached with another partner who can compensate for the amount of oil that Russia might not be able to export, then that could possibly have. So just checking some messages, few people are getting in touch. So something like that. So a really big range here. Oil has that tendency to kind of has
in emerging markets. Turkey's cash budget surplus is 55.5 billion liras in February.
Exuberant moves higher. This is from the price action point of view, it's very similar to this here. This is known as a J curve. Okay, it looks like a letter J. You normally see this at the exhaustions. Collins, I get my news from the subscription service. You pay for this stuff, or your broker provides it for you if you have a broker who provides it. You can get those news from various different sources. They're called Talking News, Talking Forex, or a Market News. You can also get it from Bloomberg. You can also get it from Reuters. You can also get it from CNBC. You can get it from various different places, but normally good brokers would provide you with the access to news as well. Anyway, so thank you for asking. So here we go. US briefing, oil benchmark surge while Euro
UK
and
Foreign Secretary
stock slump.
Says PM Johnson will announce later this afternoon more humanitarian support for Ukraine.
Let me see where I am now. So something like that could possibly play out. The other thing is, if we see a dip and then a rally from here, that could also be a tradable as well. But I need to wait and see. US flags possible ban on Russian oil imports. So here we go. So basically this is what we were talking about. Kremlin, Russian conflict will stop if Ukraine meets conditions. Civilians trapped in Mariupol, Putin calls Ukraine to surrender. Russian delegation arrives in Belarus for talks with Ukraine. Blinken, US, EU allies are discussing banning Russian oil imports. That's the reason why we had the spike. EU working on further sanctions on Russia. That could involve oil. Yet again, the same thing. EU asks United Nations watchdog to safeguard Ukraine's nuclear plants. European investor morale plummets in March on Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, but that is nothing new. US house prices, UK, apologies. UK house prices surge at strongest annual pace since 2007. Go figure. Inflation, what do? You go and buy the house. Why? Because it's bricks and mortar. German retail sales partially recover in January from December slump. German factory orders increased for a third month, rising to 1.8%. Investors start buying high-risk Ukrainian and Russian bonds. Oil nears $230 per barrel as chance of Russian ban spurs crisis fears. S&P 500 targets are being slashed as oil surge rolls markets, and so on and so on. Eurozone bank stocks hammered by intense stagflation fears. So these are basically the breaking news from the economic calendar point of view. From the economic calendar point of view, there is very little today that there's very little today that you can do. So there is a WTI future coming close to this. So gap is closed. So the gap is closed. Could this be a speculative entry? Possibly. This is a 15 minutes, so we still have US markets are open now. US markets are open right now. 5 minutes, so this still has 1 minute for this candle to complete, and the 1 minute. So from the scalping point of view, there's your trend. No, not ready yet. Not ready with this yet. I might miss the trade, but I'm not rushing into this at the moment. 115.50. So let's see. If I decide to do anything, I'll let you know. The other thing that we should quickly take a look at as well. So there's a little bit of retracement here in Dow Jones. So let me just show you that. Dow Jones downtrending. This is the 4-hourly chart. So there's an energy build up here. So low, rally, coiling. This type of patterns, they have the tendency to break to the upside, which they did, or they precede an explosive reaction in some way. So this is what happened here. If you go down to a 15-minute time frame, so this was a breakout and a retest for another leg higher. So now the US markets are opening. So let's see what happens when the price goes back down here again. Why is this level important? Well, because that was the breakout level. So that this zone here, it's not exactly the same. It's not the level as such, because it's more of a zone, and I keep using that word zone because it could be a range of levels all clustered together, which could have the reason for somebody to get engaged with this particular trade or not. So pullback and then a reversal from here higher, that could be of interest. If I see a further selling pressure, loss of this area, and then retest from underneath. So dollar CAD is going higher and oil is going a little bit higher, which is a bit strange combination. Normally, if you see oil going higher, dollar CAD should go lower because Canadian dollar is correlated with oil. So it should be Canadian dollar strength rather than US dollar strength. Oil is purchased in US dollars, so therefore, you know, crude oil and US dollars, they move in the opposite ways. But here we go. Where am I now? Dollar CAD 126.65 crude. WTI crude 643. Okay, so let's see. So this is Dow, and we are open for about 8 minutes now. Let's see how the open settles. So I will leave the crude oil alone for now. I'm more concerned about what's going on with my S&P. So the S&P is, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. The S&P is a bit of a retracement here. This is only a 15-minute price chart. And this is the zone here. So I'm still in this trade, keeping it open. Sorry, here we go. Still in this trade, keeping it open. Don't like this retracement, but my stop is at the right level. I feel that this could possibly be seen as a breakout. So let's see. I have a mental stop just at the cluster of these lows here at 42.94. If I see the price push through that level, I wouldn't wait for my stop loss to be triggered. I will get out of this trade. I will close this trade. But I'm keeping it open, letting it run.
Key Democrat introduces a bill to ban forced arbitration by banks.
Keeping it open, leaving it run. Let's see. This can all change, but that's where I am with that trade. Gold still coiling here, coiling. Nothing new yet. Cable, it's still doing the same thing. Energy is building up. Let me see where that trade is. I am probably going to do something with this trade now. because I don't like the way this is going on. So I'm going to get out of this trade while I can, while I still have some profit. So I'm taking the money now. I was expecting to see a breakout to the upside on this trade, and that didn't happen. So I'm going to close my trade, get out, and then I will reassess it. It is, I was saying to you, it was more speculative, but happy with the way I've managed it. Moved the stop closer to entry at entry, so I'm protecting myself, and I want to get out of this, because these type of patterns, they have the tendency to break to the upside. Sorry, they have the tendency to break in the direction of the prevailing trend, but they tend to do that on a third touch. So there is one touch here, second, third. It didn't do that. Instead, it went back lower. So I don't like it. I'm gonna wait and see, reassess it again, and decide what to do with that. Okay. The same thing with S&P. S&P is coming closer and closer to that level, which could be concerning for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take partial profits on this trade. So I'm going to take 30 out of this trade. So I'm taking partial profits here because it's coming close to this low. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave my stop loss where it is.
Deutsche Bank has reduced exposure to Russia significantly. That's Reuters citing a statement.
So my stop is at the right level. I'm locking in another 18, call it 19 points in this trade. Okay. So if the price does go down, I'll get stopped out with this, and that my stop is my take profit as well. Otherwise, if I see a reversal from here, I might be tempted to add to this position for a counter trend breakout higher. But that's where I am, happy to do it, and happy to manage it in this particular way at the moment.
Also seeing Russia's Lavrov is now speaking to Iranian foreign minister.
The other thing that could be of interest is gold. See, gold, if you remember, we were looking at a potentially, this could be a breakout, and this is actually happening now. So this is a 5 minute, it's a 5 minute. So I still have a minute before this candle completes, and then I'll decide
between Russia's Lavrov and the Iranian foreign minister regarding the nuclear deal, is what we're hearing.
Just realized the time as well. We've been casting for almost an hour now. Let's see if this is the reversal now. So that's what I'm saying. You wait for a full candle to complete before you can read it. Okay. Well,
seeing Lavrov say to Iran that rights of all sides of JCPOA must be respected.
Deutsche Bank, Russian exposure reduced significantly. US Treasury, markets have continued to function well amid Ukraine war and sanctions on Russia, but showing some signs of strain. Really? Okay. just realized I should have moved my camera a little bit closer, like this.
Also regarding Deutsche Bank, they say they have no code or data housed at their Russia tech center.
Collins, yeah, Colin is saying how many days per week do you, every day. Well, but every day when markets are closed, I suppose. Sorry, when markets are not closed. So if you have a market closure because of the bank holidays or anything like that, yeah. So probably the easiest thing would be to subscribe. So subscribe and you'll get a notification. But yeah, every day, Monday to Friday, and so on. Okay, so I've just realized that I went over. It's almost an hour, guys. I gotta go. It was lovely talking to you all. Stay safe. Happy trading. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. In the meantime, look after yourselves and don't chase the markets. Wait for a market to come to you. Wait for a market to come to your level before you decide to trade. Okay, and manage your risk. That's the only thing you can control. How much money are you willing to risk on each trade, and is that risk worth the potential reward? Risk is always definite and reward is potential. Will I be able... Collins, you keep asking me for this over and over again, and I keep saying to you, yes, if you purchase beginners course, you have one-to-one session with me as part of
10 minutes now to the top of the hour when we get US employment trends for
go.
February.
Yes.
Prior was 117.6.
You have one
We
session.
also get Bank of England's Deputy Governor Cunliffe speaking. He's testifying at a House of Lords committee on financial stability.
Otherwise, you can... Okay. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, you can get in touch with me here. Okay? So guys, lovely talking to you. Take it easy. Stay safe and good luck. Bye for now. Thanks. Talk to you all tomorrow. Stay safe. I'll post something in the community as well. I'll post a chart in the community today. Okay, bye for now.